Boys, we are back, and today NFL Week 2 has come to a close, and now we look on to Week 3 of the NFL predictions. Now, Week 2, went 8-6 on the money line. Now, Week 1, we went 14-2, was a dominant week, so obviously, we had to come back to reality in Week 2. A lot of upsets, a lot to talk about in this video, and also, per all of your comments, we're going to be doing the spread as well, so not just who's winning, but also picking against the spread. Our overall season record is 22-8 now. That's decent, but I still want that 16-0 week. Now, again, I'm making this before Sunday Night Football. I have the Texans on Sunday night. I have the Eagles on Monday night. Maybe we can go 10-6 and salvage the week. But looking on to Week 3, guys. First game in Week 3, we got Patriots Jets on Thursday Night Football. An absolute snooze fest. Nobody wants to watch this game. Actually, I kind of want to watch this game just to see Aaron Rodgers be Aaron Rodgers. The Jets, man, Braylon Allen had 2 touchdowns out of nowhere. Patriots, they didn't get much coverage, honestly, on red zone, but they did go into overtime with the Seahawks. Now, are the Seahawks a great team? Are the Patriots beat the Bengals, so decent. But really, they've just been ground and pound with Ramondre Stevenson. He's been their offense. I do think this can be a bit of a closer game than people expect. If Breece Hall can take it over, I like the Jets to cover the spread. 6.5 points. Now, 6.5 point spread seems a bit ambitious considering the Jets sneaked one out, it looked like, against the Titans. They beat the Titans by 7 in Tennessee. I think maybe by 4 or 5 they'll beat the Patriots, but I'd rather go with Jets 6.5. We'll go with the Jets. Giants at Browns is the second game up. Now, we got the Giants, who Malik Neighbors is a man on the mission. He had 10 catches, 120 yards. I think he had a touchdown, too. I mean, this guy, of course I was against him in fantasy. That's why I know all this. I mean, tragic. We got the Browns, on the other hand. Jerry Jeudy, I guess he's their wide receiver 1. Amari Cooper has yet to make an appearance in 2024. Kind of annoying if you're a Cleveland Browns fan right there. Deshaun Watson looked better in Week 2. Obviously, they beat the Jaguars. The Jaguars at home at Trevor Bank Park, whatever the hell they were calling it. Disappointing, bro. Rename the stadium immediately. Rename get a new quarterback. Trevor Lawrence. Your stadium was named after you, really? Now, looking at the spread, we got Browns favored by 7. Oh, I'm going to, honestly, so we're going with the Browns money line. That's all that matters. For the record, that's all that matters. We go Browns money line, but Giants plus 7 might be a little bit tempting, considering Malik Neighbors is now Marvin Harrison Jr.'s twin. Pretty interesting. Eagles at Saints, game number 3. Now, the Eagles, haven't seen them play on Monday night. I expect them to beat the Falcons pretty easily. No A.J. Brown, and I'm still going with them. Hopefully, A.J. Brown's healthy for this matchup against the Saints because they're going to need him, man. The Saints are dominant. They just destroyed the Dallas Cowboys, embarrassed them. Who cares if the Saints defense looked mid? Cowboys offense looked pretty good, and I mean, the final score of that game was still way, way too out of hand to even be respectable. Saints 44, Cowboys 19. Saints stopped trying. Rashid Shaheed is insane. Derek Carr is now QB1. It's in New Orleans as well. And they're telling me that the Eagles are favored by 2.5 points. That seems a little bit ambitious. Now, I do think the Eagles, honestly, should win this game. They should be favored. But it's a bit of an upset. I'm an Eagles fan, man. Let's go with the Saints. Let me see what the Saints got. Saints plus 2.5 for the spread. And even for the 16-0 week, we're going to take the Saints. It hurts me to do it, but we're going Saints, man. They look good. Texans at Vikings, next game up. Texans, haven't seen Sunday Night Football. The Vikings, Justin Jefferson. Now, listen, I put on my doctor coat, my stethoscope. I've been doing some research. Justin Jefferson, quad injury, bruise, whatever they were calling it. If you're bruised, buddy, I expect more fantasy points for my team. What's going on? But the Vikings and Sam Darnold look really, really good. They just beat the best team, quote-unquote, in the NFC of the San Francisco 49ers. The Texans, I have them winning the Super Bowl this year in my playoff prediction video. You can go check that out. But I think the Texans are going to be a really good team. I expect them to handle the Bears in Week 2. Shouldn't be too worrisome for me. Joe Mixon, I expect big things. I mean, the wide receiver core is best in the league. CJ Stroud, obviously Rookie of the Year. I'm going with the Texans, even though the Vikings have been really good. Justin Jefferson's day-to-day. Doesn't matter, man. Texans win money line. And looking at the spread, we got Texans -3. I'm going to pound that for sure. Broncos and Buccaneers. The Broncos, man, they're not good. Bo Nix is trash as expected. Now, fortunately for Broncos fans, he's not as trash as Bryce Young. He's still bad, though. He's really bad. He does have a decent, he's got good short accuracy, it seems like, but that's really all he's got going for him. And also the Broncos have way too many flags to even be considered a football team. Like if the Panthers are JV, Broncos are maybe varsity, and then the NFL is like above college, above XFL, and then it's NFL. So Buccaneers looked good, man. Handled the Lions. Baker Mayfield, MVP season, right? Buccaneers -7. I'm actually fine with that line as well. We'll go Buccaneers -7. They win. Packers at Titans. Malik Willis revenge game. Now the Titans, I feel like I've seen none of them this season. I don't know. They're just not shown. But from what I've seen, they've been hanging around in their games, right? Close games. Will Levis and Calvin Ridley have been having a bit of a connection, it seemed like, in week 2. Then we have the Packers, where Malik Willis, he wasn't really relied on until later in the game. The Packers came in and beat the Indianapolis Colts. Huge upset. I didn't see that coming. Now, Malik Willis was like 10 for 12 with 120 yards, and most of his passing came later in the game. Josh Jacobs carried for sure by pounding the run. Who's going to win this one? It's in Tennessee. I think the Packers should be favored. Let's check the spread. The Packers are plus 1.5. Titans are favored. Yeah. I'm going to go with Will Levis, -1.5 against Malik Willis. It was a fluke. I haven't seen enough to be convinced. Bears at Colts is the next game up here. Now, the Bears, I expect them to be embarrassed by the Texans. The Colts just got embarrassed, and Anthony Richardson has like 80 passing yards on the year total. And I just traded for Michael Pittman in fantasy. Am I an idiot? Maybe. But the Colts, surely, you got embarrassed in Lambeau Field. That's fine. You're not going to get embarrassed at home, right? Colts -1. That might be my favorite pick of the week. But also, Colts over Packers -3 was my favorite pick last week. So I don't know what I'm talking about, but I think Colts -1 is a great line. Chargers at Steelers. This one's tough to predict. We got the Steelers favored by 2.5. Russell Wilson is healthy. But they said that if Justin Fields came out and won, and he's the starter moving forward, he came out, he won. But, the Steelers' offense ain't pretty. For some reason, their OC, offensive coordinator, Arthur Smith, he said he loves it. He loves the offense that they're running. I don't know why he likes scoring, 15 points a game. Kind of interesting right there. Chargers, on the other hand, they had a bye week. The Chargers had a nice bye week. All of their starters got some rest after the third quarter against the JV Carolina Panthers. The spread for this game has Steelers -2.5. Let's go with an upset. We haven't seen a single team play offense against the Steelers all season. Oh, this is such a hard game to predict. It's in Pittsburgh too, but J.K. Dobbins has been over 100 rushing yards his last 2 games. Expect a regression this week, but I think it's going to be J.K. Dobbins versus Justin Fields, and maybe George Pickens. That's the only reason I'm leaning towards the Steelers here. I've picked against the Steelers, I think, 2 weeks in a row. Although, no, last week I had them over the Broncos. But this is, I'm going with the Chargers. It's an upset right here. I'm going Chargers to beat the Steelers. But also, if I was betting on this, I'd probably go Steelers with the spread. We got Dolphins and Seahawks right here. I'm going to be talking about, the Dolphins and what they did against the Bills. Trash. The Dolphins, really bad against the Bills when they had a healthy quarterback. Now their quarterback has to retire because he has 4 concussions in 2 years. Do what's best for his health. That's great. Skylar Thompson? Who? This is where things get interesting. The Seahawks are favored by 7 points against Skylar Thompson. So what does that tell you? I'm going with Seattle for the money line. I'm also thinking Seahawks 6.5 spread is also a pick you might want to take. No Kenneth Walker maybe, but also I wouldn't bet on this game with this spread at 6.5 points. That's way too much against Tyreek Hill and Jay. They still have the skill reception weapons. Just no quarterback, so I don't know. Panthers at Raiders. The Raiders have a free bye week in week 3. They just beat the Ravens. Now, don't overreact, guys. I've seen the Minshew magic. I'm an Eagles fan. I know what he can do. I knew he'd be all right. He was good in Indianapolis, right? He's going to have some nice weeks. The Raiders defense held them in that game. Pick up the Raiders defense in fantasy ASAP. They're going to have an easy week against the Panthers. Raiders win by 50, and they're -7. I like that line. I bet on a -21. Actually don't, because the offense can't score points. But -10. 49ers at Rams. The Rams looked really bad. Cooper Kupp was in a walking boot. That's the doctor update right there. It ain't looking good. He was out of that game pretty early, especially with how they were losing. 49ers are -7 on the road against Stafford. I think the defense is going to definitely do some bad things to the Los Angeles offense. 49ers, I expect a bounce back, but they did not look good at all in week 2. 49ers -7, why not? Lions at Cardinals. This is the game of the week, in my opinion. I wish it got flexed to Sunday Night Football, but here we are. Lions, embarrassing. Amon-Ra St. Brown had 19 targets, but it didn't feel like it, man. Also, he was dead. Like, he was injured. You could tell something was wrong. Fantasy update right here. It looks like he's week to week. Potential MCL injury. Potential something else. I don't know. It's week to week. Dan Campbell said not long term. I'm not convinced. He played through an injury last season. Let's not forget that. Without Amon-Ra St. Brown, they looked so bad. Even when he was on the field at the end, you could tell he was hurt. They were just throwing negative 3-yard passes to Jahmyr Gibbs. Did not look good. The Cardinals, on the other hand, looked like the best team in the league. Marvin Harrison Jr. looked like the best receiver in the league in the first quarter, and then they literally just ran the ball the rest of the game. The Cardinals look really, really good here. This is another game where it's an upset in the making. Give me the Cardinals at home. I did not think I'd be saying that in week 3, but Cardinals at home and plus 3.5 spread, will take that as well. Ravens at Cowboys. I think the Cowboys surely are going to be due for a bounce back week, right? We haven't seen their offense really have that connection yet. Maybe it's because their running backs are trash with Zeke and Deuce Vaughn and Rico Dowdle, right? But the Ravens, they look like a decent team, but the offense did not play well against the Raiders' strong defense. Cowboys' defense is the worst in the league, I guess, after seeing what Rashid Shaheed and Derek Carr did to them. This is a really tough game to predict. Let's look at the spread. The spread is Cowboys -1. Nobody has any clue what's going to happen. I think CeeDee Lamb can have a big game right here. This is really a toss-up game. This is going to make or break the week. I already know. And I don't want to be a Cowboys fan for the second week in a row. I'm going with the Ravens. Burn me once. Shame on me. Cowboys, trash. Ravens win on the road. It doesn't feel good. Chiefs at Falcons here. Now this game, Sunday Night Football. Are the Falcons even a good team? I'll let you know after Monday Night Football against the Eagles. The Chiefs should win this one, -4.5. -4.5 seems a bit much. Chiefs barely beat the Bengals, but they didn't play well. I still think the Chiefs are a solid team. Chiefs 4.5 point favorite. Let's go. Jaguars at Bills. We got 2 games on Monday Night Football. So 7:30 game, Jaguars at Bills. The Bills are 5-point favorites over the Jaguars. Let me take that for sure with Josh Allen. I said Josh Allen is a better quarterback than Tua. Expect a big game from Allen. Bills will win over the Dolphins. I was right. Bills will beat the Jaguars. Commanders at Bengals, last game of the week. Bengals, they played bad, guys, and they almost beat the Chiefs. Jamar Chase was non-existent. He was throwing his helmet, crybaby, all that stuff, right? Bengals are favored by 7 points here. I like the Bengals to win for the pick, so we're going to choose that. But Commanders +7 seems all right, considering they looked all right. They look like the Steelers with a bit of a better offense and a way worse defense. So I don't know what's going to happen. I expect we could see a little bit of a rebound from Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase in week 3. Those are the picks, guys. Again, we're going 16-0. That's the goal right here. Season record, what did I say? It was like 22-8. Let's improve on that. Peace out. Thanks for watching.